Welcome to Podkey NBA, where the Lakers' new era and the league's biggest pressure points are already here. A $12.5 billion Lakers sale apparently came together through a burst of weekend phone calls. Meanwhile, Denver is making Nikola Jokic's championship window feel a whole lot narrower. The speed of Mark Walters' reported Lakers sale process is the part that really jumps out. He bought the franchise for roughly $10 billion and could clear about $2.5 billion after around a year, which gives this whole thing a very different feel from a family holding onto a prestige asset for generations. The bust trust made the mechanics messy. There were tag-along rights, a trust requirement that 3 of 6 trustees approve a sale, and a reported 6-0 vote that was more meaningfully a 4-2 split, with Jeannie, Janie, Jim, and Johnny backing the deal while Jesse and Joey opposed it. Jeannie Buss reportedly has an agreement to remain governor for 5 years after the sale. Her ownership could fall below 3% unless she buys more, and an effort to get closer to 15% reportedly ran into Patrick Soon-Shiong's unwillingness to sell. So even with continuity in the title, the power structure around the Lakers is changing fast. The incoming group has also made its priorities pretty clear. Lon Rosen arrived with a revenue mandate, and the organization is reportedly looking harder at premium inventory. Another courtside row, media seats, that used to be complimentary, even scout seating as a possible paid product. The Laker girls now have Daiso as a presenting sponsor, and the G League affiliate has moved from El Segundo to Palm Springs. That move has drawn real basketball criticism because proximity matters for player development, two-way decisions, and everyday integration. Drew Timme reportedly said Palm Springs would have changed his decision about joining the Lakers. There are near-term consequences too. Ownership uncertainty and financial engineering reportedly brought a hiring freeze and delayed facility upgrades. For a team trying to convince stars like Luka Jokić that it can sustain contention, the practice gym and support staff are part of the pitch. Luka-centered roster building comes down to finding players who can punish the advantage he creates. The phrase is closeout killers, wings and guards who can attack a scrambling defense, hit the open shot, and keep the possession moving. That can mean accepting some size or defensive trade-offs while hunting for functional centers, which are much scarcer than the phrase makes them sound. Every contender runs into some version of this problem. Philadelphia could have an enormous ceiling with LeBron alongside Embiid, Maxey, and Brown, while also facing a serious question about how many players can have the ball in their hands. Houston has the same urgency around Kevin Durant and Alperen Sengun. When an elite scorer arrives, the timeline gets louder immediately. Cleveland made one of the bolder bets of the offseason, landing Peyton Watson in a complex 5-team sign-and-trade. The effective cost reportedly included Max Strus, Dean Wade, Keon Ellis, Dennis Schroeder, and an unprotected 2031 first. Watson's upside is understandable. In an 18-game starting stretch, he put up about 21 points a night, shot 45% from 3, and added roughly 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Cleveland is betting that stretch signals a new level instead of a hot sample. His 4-year, $88 million deal reportedly includes a player option and trade kicker. The Cavs' challenge is depth. Their starting group looks potent, but the bench and backup ball handling become a major concern the second an injury hits. Denver, meanwhile, has had the kind of offseason that makes every Jokic conversation feel urgent. The Nuggets lost Watson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, and Bruce Brown, and they reportedly came away with only 1 first-round pick for Watson. The financial choices have drawn the harshest reviews. Denver reportedly resisted going above about $10 million annually for Watson, then committed 5 years and $125 million to Christian Braun, and added a costly Spencer Jones offer sheet. That leaves a huge tax bill, second apron restrictions, and very little room to patch the roster. Now the plan depends heavily on bounce-backs from Cam Johnson and Braun, plus Jamal Murray staying healthy. Jokic can lift almost any offense, but even a generational player needs spacing, depth, and enough help to survive a long playoff run. Adam Silver and the league are handling several credibility tests at once, from gambling scandals to scrutiny around player movement and alleged extra benefits. The Clippers and Kawhi Leonard inquiry sits right in the middle of that. League investigators reportedly found no direct evidence that Steve Ballmer funneled money to Leonard through sponsors. The gray area remains important. A team-facilitated sponsor introduction can still create outside compensation that looks far beyond ordinary market value. That ambiguity may push the NBA toward clearer disclosure rules around teams, sponsors, and players. It's also a reminder that good reporting separates what people are hearing, what can be established, and what can responsibly be published. Suspicion travels fast. Proof has a much tougher commute. On the court and in the asset column, the Clippers turned a second-round pick and a trade exception into Max Strus. He's a useful two-way veteran and a potentially movable piece, though the broader picture still includes limited draft control and plenty of reputational noise. Several young players are carrying unusually large expectations. Walker Kessler has major draft capital and a reported 4-year $130 million Lakers deal behind him, yet he's coming off a 5-game limited season and entering the full glare of Los Angeles. Chet Holmgren remains an elite defender with rare versatility, and Oklahoma City wants more aggression, more physical strength against top matchups, and a bigger three-point volume. The suggested range of 6 to 9 attempts a game tells you how much his shooting could reshape their spacing. Jalen Duren's strong post-All-Star production and rougher playoff matchups will shape Detroit's extension decision. Amen Thompson's next step is steadier downhill creation. He climbed from roughly 14 to 18 points per game, though his regular season drive volume still leaves room for him to become a more constant attacking threat. The East could be tightly packed again, with roughly 10 games separating a large chunk of the conference. That makes win totals tricky. The Knicks at 53.5 have attracted over projections around 55 or 56, though last season's health is a fair reason for caution. Philadelphia at 50.5 is largely an availability question. Joel Embiid played only 38 games last season, and projections around 40 games for him and 57 to 60 for LeBron make load management central to the entire season. Embiid is the Sixers' swing factor, while De'Aaron Fox faces the particular pressure that comes with being a $50 million plus lead guard in San Antonio. Trae Young has his own version of the debate, a highly paid elite floor raiser whose championship ceiling remains the unresolved question. Russell Westbrook's retirement closes one of the most distinctive careers the league has seen. He made the modern triple-double feel normal, became the first player to average one for a season, did it 4 times in 5 years, and leaves as the regular season triple-double leader. And a quick historical salute to Hakeem Olajuwon's 1994-95 Rockets. Hakeem averaged roughly 29 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks across those 2 playoff runs, while Houston's 4-out spacing and Clyde Drexler acquisition helped build a blueprint that feels surprisingly modern. The NBA schedule makers understand the value of a good story too. Opening week brings Knicks Sixers on banner night, Minnesota at Miami, and OKC at San Antonio, with return games and international windows built for the social media era. That's the roundup for Podkey NBA. The league has plenty of questions this season, and the answers are already getting expensive. This episode was generated by Podkey. Create your own at podkey.fm.